Welcome back to the feature where I watch the full movie so you don't have to. I'm your host Dwayne, and today we're tearing into Cobra from 1986, where Sylvester Stallone plays a cop with a bad attitude and a huge lack of discipline. The movie opens with a man pulling up to a supermarket on his motorcycle. Parking in the handicap spot is a clue that he's up to no good. That, and he walks really slow while looking like he just came in from the sea. Inside the store, it's Christmas time and the place is full of shoppers. The dude pulls out a shotgun and starts blasting away. And what's weird is that it looks like he's mostly just murdering groceries. His rampage against food quickly turns into a hostage situation with SWAT and the local media surrounding the place. When he ups the ante by killing a hostage and a Christmas tree, the police have no choice but to call in the Cobra. That's not a code word for a fancy piece of police equipment either. They're calling in Marion Cobretti, who prefers to go by Cobra and who drives a sweet customized 1950 Mercury. He shows up looking like a walking OSHA violation, and I'm betting the sunglasses and matchstick are not standard police issue either. Detective Monty straight up tells him that he doesn't agree with calling him in. Monty is a talker while Cobra is more of a man of action. He enters the store alone and confronts the thug holding the hostages in the back of the store. The man claims to be holding a bomb and is demanding a TV crew come in to interview him. At first, Cobra just spews a couple of one-liners over the PA system before confronting the gunman face-to-face, Cobra style, which means more one-liners like,
"You're a disease, and I'm the cure,"
before chucking a knife at his chest followed up by a heavy dose of lead. Back at home, Cobra eats cold pizza while cleaning his gun and watching the news talk about how the night slasher has been carving through Los Angeles with no clear pattern. The body count is up to 15 in just a month, and the victims are completely random. That same night, a diner waitress clocks out and gets butchered in the parking lot by the night slasher and his crew, proving this isn't just one random psycho. At the autopsy, Cobra argues there may be multiple killers, but Monty disregards him because he thinks Cobra's just a trigger-happy lawsuit waiting to happen. The killers strike again near a freeway overpass, attacking a woman driver and dumping the body. A woman named Ingrid happens to drive by and she gets a good look at the killer, not even realizing he was a killer. The fact that one of the killers is also police officer Nancy Stock only adds to the danger that Ingrid is in. Officer Nancy runs her plate number at work and now the killers know how to get to her. Cobra finally gets permission to shake down suspects his own way, and while he and his partner Gonzalez start digging, the killers track Ingrid to a photo shoot. We then have to suffer through an overly long music montage, jumping back and forth from Cobra searching for leads and Ingrid doing a cheesy photo shoot with some robots that remind me of Bender from Futurama. In the parking garage after the shoot, the killers sit in the dark waiting to strike. Ingrid's sleazy photographer tries to convince her to sleep with him, only to get interrupted by an axe being swung at his head. While Ingrid is their target, that doesn't keep them from crapping on everybody else's night. Ingrid barely gets away while the night slashers people murder her photographer, a random office worker, and a security guard before taking off when police sirens close in. At the hospital, Cobra and Gonzalez question Ingrid and learn the only thing connecting her to the murders is what she saw under the overpass. Cobra pushes her to remember the killer's face, while elsewhere, Officer Nancy tells the night slasher that Ingrid can identify him. The cops plan to move Ingrid in the morning, so Cobra keeps working the case from home, while the night slasher sneaks into the hospital by killing a custodian and stealing his uniform. Cobra realizes Gonzalez was lured away on false orders, and when he heads out, two masked men ambush him outside of his apartment. Cobra survives the hit by killing them first. While back at the hospital, the night slasher reaches Ingrid's room. She barely escapes into the bathroom where she locks the door and imitates a scene from The Shining. Once she breaks out of the bathroom, she trips the fire alarm, seeking safety in the evacuation chaos. Cobra shows up as everyone else is leaving and she runs to him for safety. Back at the precinct, Cobra tries to explain to his superiors that someone inside the police is feeding the killers information. Cobra and Gonzalez move Ingrid to a safe house with Officer Nancy joining the convoy and secretly signaling backup cars to follow. Almost immediately after leaving, they're attacked, turning a quiet drive into a chase with car crashes and gunshots. At one point, Cobra executes a perfect J-turn on a bridge and takes out some of the bad guys before flipping back around to go after the other car. They're no longer chasing him. He chases them through a parking garage and over the Venice Canal bridges, causing that Mercury to take some serious damage. Okay, jumping the canal bridges was a pretty cool stunt scene. I mean, it's not quite the chase scene from Bullet, but this was pretty cool. Unfortunately, Cobra ends up wrecking his own car into a boat propeller and losing the night slasher in the process. Cobra and Ingrid are okay, but that car is toast. That night at the precinct, Monty accuses Cobra of using Ingrid as bait and almost gets his face bashed in for running his mouth. Cobra still gets approval to take Ingrid out of town. This time, Cobra takes Ingrid in a plain pickup truck while Gonzalez and Nancy follow in another car. The group stops at the Crossroads Motor Court where Cobra and Ingrid are able to sit down for a normal dinner and trade some mild flirting. And Ingrid eats lots and lots of ketchup. That night, Cobra stays alert by prepping his weapons while Ingrid tries to sleep. By morning, the Colt Army are well on their way and Cobra and Gonzalez realize Nancy is missing. When the Colt pulls up, he knows he was right about someone on the inside. Sometimes it sucks to be right. Motorcycles roll in and the Colt swarms the motel in a full-on attack. It looks like they decided it was time to go big or go home. As the motorcycles drive past, Cobra starts dropping them like a carnival shooting game. 5 shots, 5 dead bad guys. The attackers torch the cottages and Gonzalez gets wounded after barely escaping the fire. Cobra and Ingrid break out in the truck and once again the killers are in hot pursuit. Well, warm pursuit I guess, because it's a rather slow speed chase as Ingrid drives while Cobra stands up in the back mowing down as many motorcycle dudes as he can. The killers block the road with burning cars and Cobra instructs Ingrid to go through it. She does, but the truck gets totaled in the process, forcing them to flee on foot through an orange grove while the killers keep closing in from every direction. He tells Ingrid to run to the nearby Foundry for the big final showdown. Hot on her tail is Officer Nancy. Once inside, Nancy kills a security guard, accidentally setting some of the large machinery into motion. Inside the Foundry, Nancy hunts Ingrid while Cobra fights through more Colt members and burns several of them alive along the way. He even gets to put his little matchstick to good use. He then takes Nancy down just before she can kill Ingrid on a ladder. This leads Cobra to a final face-off against the last one standing, the Night Slasher himself. Cobra gets the drop on him, but he doesn't flinch. The Night Slasher taunts Cobra, insisting the law will protect him if he's arrested, because even this lunatic knows the court system better than he should. You know, because he has rights. Even insane, he has rights. Cobra doesn't give a shit about his rights though. He's going to just end him right there. There's just one little problem. He took Nancy down, but not out. She jumps on his back and the Night Slasher ends up shooting and killing her instead. At that point, it all collapses into a brutal street fight with knives and chains. Just when you think Cobra is about to take a knife to the face, he rises up like Rocky Balboa hitting Apollo Creed with body shots. He then sees a giant hook coming their way and thinks the Night Slasher would look great hanging from it. He lifts the killer up in the air and the hook impales him in the back as it continues on its journey straight into a blazing industrial furnace. So yeah, he's dead. With the Colt broken and the leader roasted, Cobra and Ingrid return to the motor court where Gonzalez is alive and the police finally showed up. Captain Sears congratulates Cobra while Monty tries one final smug, no hard feelings, causing Cobra to punch him in the face. Cobra and Ingrid leave together on a motorcycle that was left behind by the Colt, riding off down the road while the credits roll. The end. And that's the movie Cobra, something Stallone decided to do between Rocky IV and Rambo 3. I personally like this movie just for the car. That was a cool car and I hated to see it get destroyed. Plus my dad is a big car guy and loves those old Mercurys with chopped tops. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, drop your favorite scene or thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more retro carnage every week. Thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next Back to the Feature.